Welcome to the Tuning In podcast, where we talk alignment, intuition, and our internal guidance system. We cover woo-woo topics in an approachable and practical way. I'm your host, Dana Evans of Alignful.com. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Tuning In podcast. This is episode 132. I'm your host, Dana Evans. So in today's episode, I want to give you a major life update. And this has been so weird to not address or talk about this because it's been so prominent in my life. But I just wanted to wait for a little bit to talk because things weren't moving along as fast as I was hoping for them to. And so I was like, I'm just going to hold off of announcing so it's not like dragged out. So I'm going to talk about that today. And then I also am just going to give a general life update audio. So talking about what I've been up to, things I'm super into right now, some of the themes in my life right now, and what I'm really excited about for the coming year, which is a lot. So last week I talked about how the energy always returns. And I spoke about that in a very small, specific example of being tired one day and surrendering to the tiredness and having energy the next day. Ironically, the same thing happened this week. Today is Tuesday that I'm recording. On Monday, I got up, I went and taught my college students, I did a little work, I picked up some brunch, breakfast burritos for John and myself, and then I came home and I crashed and I had no energy. And I'm like, I'm starting to think maybe this is a Monday thing. Maybe I can just give myself some grace on Mondays. And then today, Tuesday, and same with last week, I woke up so excited and felt so good. So maybe that's just a general theme of the energy always returns. But the bigger theme of that is on a more macro level. If you've listened to the podcast at all over the last couple of months, I was really slow and really didn't have a lot of outward energy and was really leaning into the hibernation of winter. And I have energy again. So I'm coming out of that hibernation. I have been for the past couple of weeks, but my energy is feeling more consistent. And it's not like spurts of energy. It's like multiple days. I'm like, okay, I feel more consistent. I feel more steady. I feel like I have overall more access to energy, except apparently on Mondays. And of course, this is all relative to me and my own energy and my projector self and all of that. But I just think it's such a great reminder. I was looking at my journal from last year. Oddly, I haven't really journaled at all this year, but I was looking back at last year's journal and it's same thing, like around February is when I started to really feel like I had energy again and wanting to create and do projects and work with people and all of that. So it's going to come back. It might be a day, it might be an hour, it might be months, but it will come back. And it's such a delight when the energy comes back. You're like, oh, this is me too, right? You can have both. It's not just you when you don't have energy, and you're not just better when you do have energy. It's like, it's all part of you. And you can lean into both. So that's been a big, beautiful thing that's happened recently as I just am feeling the energy return. And I'm so grateful for that. And I think it's a little easier because I gave myself so much grace during the time of inward energy, right? And this happens every year. It's easy to forget. But the other thing I was reflecting on, which is new right now, is my schedule is filling up again. And for at least like 5 weeks, I had nothing. I literally remember telling my mom, I said, Mom, I have so much time and space that I don't know what to do with myself. And she, of course, said, Dana, you need to tell your podcast listeners this. And I was like, I'm just not ready to. I'm embarrassed. But now I'm kind of on the other side of it and I can reflect on it more. For the last 2 weeks of December and the first 2 to 3 weeks of January, I had nothing. I wasn't working one-to-one with clients because I hadn't opened that up yet. The emotional edit was complete, so I wasn't doing anything with that. And things just hadn't really picked up yet. Obviously, we're always getting what we want on some level. And if I listen to my past episodes, obviously I wasn't wanting much responsibility. I wasn't wanting a full schedule, and I was wanting space to match my energy. So I got that. And I really leaned into just the nothingness. I had so much time. And honestly, it got to a point where I was like, okay, this is enough. I want some things in my calendar again, because it was every day was like Groundhog's Day with just I literally didn't have to do anything. So then I could feel that energy shift. I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for a little more structure again. And with that, I decided, okay, I'm going to spend a little time, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, I'm going to go to a coffee shop and work. So change of environment. My Minds class started up teaching the college students. And this is the last semester, which I'll tell you why here in a minute. But this is the last semester that I'm teaching my college students. I have been teaching them every semester. It's so cool. I get 50 students a semester that I work with in this class. And so I think I've been doing this for 7 years, every semester, spring and fall. And it started as yoga. But then as I really got to know the students, and it's a very rigorous engineering school. My husband actually went to school. He did his undergrad and his PhD there. Very rigorous. I saw firsthand how challenging it is. But I found that they needed something a little different than just a yoga class. So I kind of morphed it into mindset and movement. I teach them a lot of the things I do in my business. I teach them emotional regulation. I teach them how to regulate their nervous system. I teach them how to build an actual relationship with their body and tune in and listen to their physical body as a messenger for what they're needing. Of course, I teach them functional movement, Bowspring inspired movement, and mostly I teach them to have fun. I am such a contrast to these students and to their day-to-day lives. I have them into class to get weird, to be silly, to laugh, to crawl on the floor, to shake, to skip. I assign them things like do something just for the heck of it, just for fun that has no purpose, right? Do something nice for someone else, go outside in the morning, put your feet on the ground, simple things. And I love it so much. So that is one thing that was starting up at the end of January. So that started up. So that was filling my schedule. I decided I was going to go to a coffee shop once a week to work. And then I started leasing a horse. So you've heard about my horse journey at this adorable little farm right up the street from me. And they don't do lessons in the winter. However, you can lease a horse. And I'm going to do a whole episode about this, but I decided to lease a horse named Chip, who I call Side-Eye Chip. I don't know if he actually likes me or not. It's hard to tell, but I decided to lease him. And so 2 days a week, I spend about 2 hours with Chip cleaning his pen and doing some groundwork with him. So that's happening Tuesdays, and now it was Fridays, but it's happening Tuesdays and Thursdays. Because on Fridays now, starting next week, I signed up for, oh my gosh, this is going to be so impactful for you all and for the work I do with my clients. But I signed up for rapid resolution training and clinical hypnotherapy certification. So it's a 10-week program, 8 hours a week. So every Friday for 8 hours from 8 to 4, I will be working and training and learning about this really powerful methodology called rapid resolution training therapy. And it really gets us into the subconscious and gets to the root of an emotion and can clear it often in a single session. So if you deal with panic, if you deal with like deep fears, if you're dealing with, it's very effective in trauma, dealing with trauma, old emotions. It's just going to help us get there faster, more effectively, and even deeper, right? Like I love going deep. I love getting to the core and to the root, especially of emotions. And so it's just like going to enhance the work I do with you all so much. I cannot wait to debut this. If there's a requirement to do like sample sessions, I'll let you know on the podcast so you can sign up to get a first taste of this work. I think it's going to be life-changing for me to go through this program, to be certified in it, and forevermore will change the trajectory of the work I do with my clients. So that's exciting. Plus, it will give me separately a clinical hypnotherapy certification, which I do a lot of that already with Inner Voice. I'm not certified in it, but it's the state I bring you in when we start to talk with and work with your inner voice and work with emotions on that present moment experience. And why not have a certification? Like every time I learn something a little deeper, I learn a different approach. Like then I put it through my filter and apply it through my own work. And it's just amazing, right? Like my body of work is going to keep growing and evolving. And I'm just going to keep bringing that to you all so that you are going to over and over again, deeper and deeper and deeper, be able to look at the emotions that are coming up, like feel them, sense them, and then be able to process, release, and clear them in the moment so that they are no longer this emotional baggage that you freaking carry with you everywhere you go. And that clearing, that releasing of those emotional charges, what you clear in the present paves the path for your future, right? So what we hold on to emotion-wise is going to inform our future, right? It's going to inform our decisions and how we act and react. The more we can release those charges and unhook ourselves from these intense emotions that are often caused from past experiences and trauma and all sorts of stuff, the easier it will be to move forward. And not just move forward blindly, but to move forward with clarity, to move forward from the guidance of your inner voice. The thing that prevents us from, listening to, either hearing and or listening to our inner voice is the mind's attachment to usually some sort of emotional charge, right? The mind is tied up in these emotions and then it clouds our ability to act and decide. So as we clear the emotions, we clear that hook, that attachment from the mind, and it makes space so that the inner voice can lead and guide, and you can move forward with that simple, clear, aligned frickin' action. And it's a game changer. So I'm so excited. Stay tuned. So that's happening Fridays. And then Mondays, I'm going to the coffee shop after I teach the mind students. Then I go to the coffee shop, do a little work there. Then I've been picking up breakfast burritos for me and John, which is like just a fun treat. It just makes Mondays more fun because he doesn't run on Mondays. That's his one day off that he doesn't run. And I have to leave the house already to go teach mine. So it's like, okay, let's make them more fun. So we have the burritos, and then sometimes we do beer Mondays where we'll have a drink on Monday night, have a beer, and it just like makes the introduction to the week really lovely. So that's like what's come with my schedule. And it's just this reminder of, hey, when you have space, are you willing to take the space? Because we know the schedule will always fill up, just like the energy will always come back. And it's so nice to rejuvenate and take the space while you have it. I had a ton of space in January, and I'm so grateful. I just leaned into it. I watched so many movies. I watched so many TV shows. I read so many books. I had such a fluid schedule. Like I didn't have to do anything. And now as I'm entering February, I've got a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday commitments. And then I'm doing client sessions on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, my schedule has gotten, more structured. And I love that too. But I'm so glad I took the space when I had it. Just like Jack Reacher, if you've ever read his books, he always says, eat when you can, sleep when you can. For him, it's because he's about to get into trouble and he's about to like do some vigilante shit and solve someone's problem and go on like a bender where he's like on a mission trying to fix things. And he never knows when he might have a chance to eat or sleep again. And for us, it's like, let's not fill our schedules just to keep them full. So just like the natural ebb and flow of nature or of any freaking cyclical thing, what would it look like when there's space to let the space come so that you can be rejuvenated and restored for when the inevitable busyness comes? So what if we lean into the natural flow of spaciousness and busyness versus trying to force spaciousness, or what I think is more common is trying to force busyness. The reason we try to force spaciousness is because we're so used to forcing busyness that we've forgotten that we actually have natural periods where life is more spacious. We just don't lean into them and we fill them up unnecessarily. That's what I've seen. So there's another, I don't know what that is. Apparently that was a tangent that I needed to talk about. Also, so in addition to the rapid resolution therapy, I've also been taking a copywriting program from Talking Shrimp. She has an email writing course called Inbox Hero and Story Hero. I've just wanted to improve my writing, specifically email writing and storytelling skills. And it's so much fun. So if you're not on the Vitamin D newsletter, I'll put the link to sign up for that, because I've been really having fun with these emails and like implementing what I'm learning. And it's just fun shit. Like, please join me. Come on over, especially because I haven't been on Instagram as much. I reemerged last week. I popped onto Instagram stories. It felt fun and light, and I wasn't incessantly checking Instagram because I've been off for 2 months. But still, like, my emails and podcasts are going to be the most engaged way to hang out. I'm also doing an equine bodywork course. What? Because I want to give Chip, so I'm going to pilot it today. I'm going to work on Chip's trapezie muscles, his traps, because I think he's a little sore there. So I'm going to play with that and see how he responds to this equine bodywork. I know, it's crazy. And the other thing that's come back with my energy and with this emergence is I feel like cooking again. I was just not inspired by food at all for months. And recently I have been reinvigorated. We've been eating so well. I've been making so many fun meals. I made this actual homemade hamburger helper, which was insane. It's from Joy the Baker. I can put the list there. That was so good. I made this amazing Smitten Kitchen. I love her. Sausage and kale pasta bake with mozzarella. It was like a really light on the sauce. You make like light bechamel, and then you put in sausage and kale and like red pepper flakes. Oh my gosh, that was so freaking good. And these burger bowls. Okay, look, if you have not made a burger bowl yet and you eat meat, stop right now, click the link in the show notes for the burger bowls and make them. It is the simplest freaking thing and somehow the most amazing, delicious thing ever. Like, I add pickles to it and then I roast up some crispy potatoes. John's obsessed. He's like, let's have burger bowl. He just wants burger bowls every night. And it's just been so fun to eat really good food again. Oh, and eating pasta. I made shrimp scampi on Sunday. I've been buying this like really amazing pasta. It's like heirloom, organic, sprouted wheat. It's insane. Highest quality, right? Like whenever you can, the higher the quality, the better it's going to be with like food type things, right? Because shrimp scampi is so simple. Like the pasta like makes the dish. So this pasta I got made it so much better. So that's been so fun. I hope this is fun. I'm just like playing. The other thing, I've been eating yogurt because I'm playing with, I don't even know what it's called, but basically I'm trying to eat more. And I've been working on this for many months now. And that includes eating a ratio of protein, carbs, and fat. And I don't remember directly the ratio, but it's something like 2x carbs to protein with like a third fat in every meal. So it's like a really loose ratio. But protein was something I really wasn't getting enough of generally during the day. You're in this situation, you're aiming for like 30 grams of protein per meal, which, oh my God, that's so much food. It's been an adjustment. But I've brought back yogurt and I found two really delicious ones. One is called Knorr, Norr. It's organic, grass-fed. Even the flavored ones are like really, I think they use agave. Like it's a really clean, delicious, creamy, velvety. Like I feel like I'm eating ice cream. It is such an amazing yogurt. And each container has 16 grams of protein. So I can use it as like a booster for like a regular protein meal or a nice little protein snack. I'll eat that with like a rice cake or something. So that one's amazing. And then the other one, it's called A2, which is a certain type. I don't really know what this means. Bellwether Farms is the brand that I've been eating. It's a certain type of protein in the yogurt that's supposed to be easier to digest, or in the dairy. So I've been buying their yogurt. Their vanilla is insane. It's so delicious. It's easier for me to find than the Knorr one. And also their heavy cream is what I put in my coffee, and specifically what I use for my sweet and salty semi-whipped coffee, which if you haven't made that yet, I'll link up I have an Instagram reel of that recipe. I'm giving you lots of links. This is just like what I've been into, right? What I've been up to. So I'm loving these brands. When I find a brand I love, like I become a die-hard fan. And I like to share that with you because I really care about my products that I use and that I consume. And I really research and like try to find ones that align with my values and that are delicious and amazing all around. And so why not share that? So that's what's going on. Then, okay, I didn't mean to lure you. I'm going to give you my big major announcement, but I thought it'd be nice to get through the little ones first. The other thing that I'm so excited about, this has been like a multi-month, very time-consuming mission. I found the most amazing sheets and towels, okay? Our sheets were so old, and we had 3 sets. A linen set that I love from Parachute, but those are really better for the winter because they're pretty heavy. Then a Purcell set that I don't really love. They're a little too thin for me, but they feel really nice, from West Elm. And then I had just like something from Kohl's, like Jennifer Lopez brand or something. And those were like our everyday sheet that were like the in-between weight. Well, those just like straight up tore. And the pillowcase tore. All of a sudden my sheets were like ripping like crazy. And then I only had like the really heavy sheets or the really light sheets. And I'm like, oh my God, we need new sheets, especially for what's coming. And also our towels, also from Parachute, and then some from Kohl's. The Parachute towels are great. I love them. But what's happened over there, like, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, is Mia jumps in the linen closet, right? Like having an animal. Mia jumps in the linen closet on the towels, and then she like scratches them. You know how cats or dogs like try to make a little nest. And then she curls up and sleeps on the towel. Somehow, over the years, that has happened to every single towel. So every one of our towels is shredded. So like if it weren't for Mia, which lesson learned for my new towels, she can't sleep on them. If it weren't for that, like they'd still be in really great shape, but they're just shreds. And so I'm like, we need new towels, we need new sheets. I wanted them to be organic. I wanted them to be sustainable, right? I have all these freaking qualifications that they have to meet because I can't just go buy a towel, right? Like, come on, Dana. So I went on Food 52. I ordered like 6 different single towels as a sample. A lot of them were like Japanese brands. I didn't like any of them. Then my friend told me about this company called Under the Canopy. I got excited. I ordered sheets and towels from them. The sheets I just did not like at all. I was like, nope. The color was gorgeous. The feel was just did not meet my qualifications. But the towels were great. So I got this waffle towel in like this beautiful deep teal. So those I kept. Returned the sheets. Then I remembered this company called Koyuchi. Coyuchi. And I was like, oh, I bought my mom a bathrobe from them a while ago. So I was thinking about them. Then I went to book a hotel in Albuquerque, New Mexico, because I had to go down there. And lo and behold, I found this amazing boutique farm hotel. And they're like, we have sheets from Coyuchi. And I was like, what the fuck? This is so exciting. So that was like the nudge from the universe. I was like, okay, I'm going to order those. So I did the craziest thing in the world. I ordered flannel sheets and these amazing cloud towels from Coyuchi. They came last week. I am in love. I'm in love with the brand, like in love with the brand. They represent everything that I care about, okay? It's organic fiber. You can get an undyed sheet. I got the undyed flannel, so it's like natural cotton. And it's like this beautiful, creamy off-white color. And they're certified by the Global Organic Textile Standard. So that's important to me. I don't even know. They're like a really great freaking brand. The company just cares about people. They care about their products. They care about the environment. And the products look it, right? Like they have this very natural, organic, lived in, cozy, comfortable, elevated feel, which is like everything I love. So these sheets arrived. I've never liked flannel sheets. I don't know why I ordered them, but they came and I am in love. They are so soft, but also not like, flannel can sometimes feel like really sticky and like heavy and like you're stuck in the sheet. No, they're super lightweight, but they're super soft. They have the perfect weight. And the pillowcase, like my face is like, oh my God, I love you. I just want to like snuggle up into this pillowcase. And like John is a Taurus. John is very sensitive to textures and he really likes soft things. It's funny, like the only gifts I ever get John are like blankets and like sweatpants and sweatshirts. Like he just wants like soft, cozy comfort, which is funny because it balances his mindset. Like he's a little more like intense, rigid, like running engineer, scientist, works really fucking hard, very driven, very focused. So I love that we can like drape him in cozy, comfortable things. And then, of course, I just love luxury, beauty. I want my home to feel like a hug. And so these sheets, they are everything. I'm going to put a link if you want to order them for $60 off your order, if you want to try them out. And they also have like when you sign up, I think you get like 20% off your purchase. I'm also going to order their standard ones for like my summer sheet. I'll probably get the crinkled percale, or they have like a regular percale, which is like just like a soft cotton sheet. They also have sateen, which is not my jam. And they also have linen. They also have jersey, also not my jam. But anyway, point being, I could cry. I'm so happy. And then I got these amazing towels, which are like, I don't like a big fluffy towel that doesn't absorb water. I found this like perfect in-between towel called the Cloud Loom organic towels from them. It has a fluffier look, but it also is like has a nice absorbent texture. So those towels plus under the canopy, I'm in love. So anyway, very long story, but like, can we just talk about the fact that it's really hard to find sheets sometimes and towels that you love? And it's like, how much time do we spend in bed? I want the best bed experience. And I'd rather invest in these sheets that are going to like last. And I'm just going to like every morning, I'm like, John, how did you feel about the sheets last night? Every day, I'm like, what do you think now? What do you think now? Because every day I wake up and I'm like, this is the best thing in the world. Every night I get into bed and I'm like, this is the best thing in the world. I feel emotional right now. Like that's how much I love these. And here's the craziest thing. Talk about investing, right? We talked about this with Elizabeth. I just found out that they just got approved as a company on the stock market, whatever. And I can invest in them. And they have like a special investors program on their website. And I'm going to invest in them because Elizabeth says like, follow your intuition, invest in companies that you really believe in and care about. And I'm like, this company meets all of the criteria. And so I'm so excited to also become an investor. This is not an ad. I'm just obsessed. I feel like this is an ad. Maybe I could clip it and make it an ad. That would be hilarious. Anyway, if you want to try it, I do have a code that will give you $60 off your purchase. So I'll put that in the show notes. Okay. I think those are all of the housekeeping things I'm obsessed with, things I'm doing. Also, I'll actually loop that into the announcement. Okay. Are you ready? Some of you might already know what this is. I am not pregnant. Let's just get that off. I'm not pregnant. I have no plans to be pregnant either. So don't let your mind go there. But you may have noticed that over the last year, if you are following my Instagram stories, that I have gone to New Mexico a lot, specifically Santa Fe. And up until March of last year, I had never been to New Mexico. Or actually, I'd been to Santa Fe once as a kid with my parents. We drove through and stayed the night there on the way to visit my brother or something in Tucson or California. And I had never been, but last year, early in January, February, and December of the year before, John had been looking for a new job. And he ended up having an interview with this company. And I remember he told me, he said, well, this company's in Albuquerque and they'd want us to move. And I said, well, then I guess you're not taking this job. That's off the table. And he said, well, let's find out. Let's see what they're all about. Well, he ended up loving this company. They loved him and they offered him a job. And they said, well, one of the conditions if you take this job is we want you to move here. You will be working remote. However, we want someone who can come into the office occasionally. And also, this is a solar company. They design a technology for solar panels, which is great. This is John's industry. He's an expert in solar. And he also is in coding and working on the digital side of things. They have a test site outside of Taos, New Mexico. And they're we need someone who can go up there, but also who can come into the office occasionally. But ultimately you work at home, but we want you in New Mexico. So we talked it over and we asked the company if we could move to Santa Fe instead of Albuquerque. And they said yes. So in March of last year, we made our first trip ever. It was actually right after John had quit his previous job and before he started his new job. This is the first vacation he had had in years, probably since our honeymoon. He took 7 days off between jobs and we went down to Santa Fe and spent 5 days there together. And we've loved it. Me quicker than John, but we fell in love. I felt at home there. It's a quieter pace of life. It's more calm. It's a bit more nature focused in that it's not surrounded by all these suburbs. It's Santa Fe, and then you have nature. It's kind of isolated, right? The closest, if you're not in Santa Fe, the closest town is basically Albuquerque, an hour south, or Taos, which is I think, I don't know, hour and a half or more north-ish. And we just really enjoyed it. And so he decided to take the job. We decided we're going to move. And it's happening. So I've known since March of last year. So almost an entire year. The reason I haven't shared it is because the process, talk about a slower pace of life. The process for this move has been, first of all, I will do a whole episode on the flow to Santa Fe because it has been so aligned, so guided. It is so clear that we are meant to be there. I cannot even believe it. But it has also been really slow. And so there were times during this past year where we still weren't totally sure if our house was going to be ready in time, if we'd be able to move, if we still wanted to move. There were some doubts because things were happening so slowly that we're well, we can still pull out. We can still pull out. We can still pull out. But ultimately, we kept moving forward. And I was there last week for 36 hours. I flew in. I actually flew. We usually drive, but I flew to Albuquerque because I had to do some design decisions. I flew in. I got there at 10 a.m. on Wednesday and picked out my countertops. Oh my God, they're the most beautiful countertops in the whole fucking world. I'm obsessed. They're this natural stone called quartzite. There's this moody canyon river vibe. I designed my bathroom with like these gorgeous teal tiles. Oh my gosh, I can't. Designed the powder room with like this cool brick flooring. Our house is going to be amazing. And I left on Thursday and I got in the car after these design decisions and I just cried. I cried with gratitude of getting to design this house, of us having this opportunity to move and all that is to come. I am so excited. So we are moving to Santa Fe. We still don't know when. I did visit the house when I was there. I drove up to Santa Fe and it was totally framed. They were literally installing the windows. Our vigas, our ceiling beams, arrived while I was there. And all the plumbing is in. So the next step is the electrical. Then they'll put in the flooring and the counters. So I think it might move pretty quick now. So it might be like this summer, June-ish, that we'll be moving. I was asking my inner voice about the house earlier this year. And all it showed me was literally like a fairy floating over the month of June. So like there's something there, like whether we're moving in June or there's like some energy shift in June, like something special is happening. So maybe that's what it is. So with that, I have been so busy. It's been nice to have space because I have been prepping our old house. So I've been really cleaning up, clearing out, simplifying, not buying new face products until I work through my old ones, getting rid of the old towels, buying new towels that are going to fit with our new vibe, right? Buying new sheets that fit with our new vibe. Like we have lived in our house for 12 years. Most of our stuff is like really old. I never really got into designing this house. Turns out I love design, but it was never something I did house design here. But now I get to design this new house and it's going to be so Dana. Like I just cannot wait. But also I'm getting to put some love into our current house. So last weekend I ordered all new appliances. Our appliances were 12 years old. We want to sell it for the most possible price in the easiest possible way. So I'm vamping up. I got a pretty new faucet, a new garbage disposal, new appliances for the kitchen. I've been clearing out drawers and cupboards and cabinets, knowing that we're going to move and I don't want to move anything that is not in the highest alignment of what we love to the new house. So I'm just clearing out and making space and simplifying. And it feels so amazing. Like there's nothing like a move to help you release what you do not need. And so it's been really fun that I both get to prepare our new home with the design. Like I'm really, he will just lean to me. Like he trusts me to make the decisions. I really like to be able to be in charge of that. I like run things by him. He's like, cool. So that's been really fun. But then also to love on our current house and just like, yeah, it's like a big nesting phase. So that's what I've been doing. And with that simplification, I've also been doing simplification of my business, which is really fun. So I got rid of Kajabi, which I just wasn't using. I have not done my new website yet, so I don't even think my website works right now. Whoops. But I'm going to do a really simplified website from Lauren Cash has something called the Simple, I forget what it's called, like the Simple Biz. And I joined her little program and she has all these great recommendations. So Carrd, C-A-R-R-D is like a really simple like business card website, like really basic. So I'm doing my website there. And I've switched over my calendar booking system. I've simplified my offers. So I have 3 core offers, right? You can do a 1-hour session with me, which we can do inner voice, emotional clearing, like inner strategy session where we use your inner guidance to do a planner strategy. 1 hour, that's $333. You can join the emotional edit, which is opening again in March. You can join the waitlist for that. In fact, definitely join the waitlist for that because the price is going to be $697 for this round, but I will have a special waitlist early bird pricing coming out later this month. So definitely get on the waitlist for that. And then you can do a 6-week immersion with me, which is 2222. And that's where we spend 6 weeks together, releasing emotions, getting into your inner voice, using rapid resolution therapy. We'll definitely be using that. and just like clearing you out, right? Just like I'm clearing my house out, like you can clear out your inner house so that you're starting from a really clean baseline, and what you're carrying with you into your new life, right, into the next phases is only what is the best and highest alignment for you and for your future. So that's also what I've simplified. I'm going to re-release the podcast with simplified messaging, like that's more in alignment with what we're talking about now with all the emotions, and some new branding. I have a new email system called Flowdesk, which I'm obsessed with. If you want to try Flowdesk, I think I have a share code for that too, that gives you 50% off your subscription, which is how I got it, which is like such a steal. And that's it. So these are all of the new things. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful for you for listening. And I can't wait to share this journey with you. So thank you, as always, for tuning in, and stay tuned. I'm going to, now that I've shared this, now I'm excited to continue to share the journey of the house and the move and take you along with me. So all of the links that I mentioned today are in the show notes, and just go there. And if you have any questions or need anything from me, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram at Dana_Evans. And if you loved this episode and want to share it, please share with your friends, your family, anyone who this would resonate with. Let them know about the emotional edit. Definitely get on the wait list if you haven't yet. Or if you want to work with me one-to-one, you can send me a message about that. So have a wonderful day. I'm so excited. And I'll see you next week on the Tuning In podcast. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Tuning In podcast. As always, if this would resonate with anyone you know, please share the episode. You can follow along with my journey on Instagram at Dana_Evans, or find me on my website at alignful.com.